mode. You can see that car really starting to move, though. I can tell you the speeds earlier on were about 90. He's going a little bit faster now, probably tickling those triple-digit numbers, probably getting up into the 100 miles an hour. Southbound 5 freeway, passing the Citadel area. I think Atlantic is going to be the off-ramp. But you can see how quick he is moving down there, and it does seem like he's moving over to the right, so he may be planning on taking an off-ramp or just avoiding traffic. Very high speeds right now. Like you said, a Mustang, possibly a GT. So this car does have some oomph, as it would be, underneath the hood. The officers, though, they've got a lot more on their side. Stolen vehicle, high speeds, southbound 5 freeway, just past the Citadel right now. LAPD, I'm going to take a look. I haven't heard them say they're going into tracking, but they have offered it up a couple times. Now passing Washington, you can see how fast this car is going, just how it's passing the other vehicles here, making them almost sound like they're standing still. We're on 5. I heard Jeff tell him thank you, and we're on Freak 5. It's Southern California city. Hang on, I'm playing. I don't know. I would call this Downey-ish. If we're not in Downey, we will be in Downey soon, and then if we stay on, then Santa Fe Springs. All right, Websters, if you guys are watching and listening, thanks a lot. I do appreciate it. If you're local, turn on Channel 2. Watch it on Channel 2, CBS. It's going to be Pat and Rick. It's going to be awesome. Those guys are the best at what they do. We're okay at what we do. We're watching this guy, stolen vehicle, pretty high speeds, LAPD, they've got their helicopter over it. I was staring around a little bit. It was PD1, and I always get a little confused with some of those call signs. I'm not sure who PD1 works for. So I just kind of threw out the big blanket, said he's law enforcement helicopter. This vehicle, though, high speed, stolen, 30 seconds to CBS. Those are other people in my ear saying, hey, stop talking to those people on the web. We got work to do. We got real television to do. Anyway, looks like we're taking an off-ramp there. I didn't catch it. We're going to hear what it is here in just a second. They're getting off at Lakewood. So we're going to be in the Downey area. Downey, and we're on surface streets, 10 seconds away. Well, we just got off the 5 freeway on Lakewood. That's the vehicle right there. In tracking mode right now, making another U-turn. LAPD was in pursuit, ground units, lights and sirens, high speeds in the Montecito Heights area. It was hair-raising at some moments because of the speeds this vehicle was going. LAPD, they stayed behind it until their helicopter got positioned, and that was on the freeway earlier on. Now we just made that big U-turn off of Lakewood. Now we're going northbound on the 5 freeway, heading back towards the area where we came from. LAPD, they've chosen to basically put this into tracking mode. That light you're seeing, that's going to be the helicopter, but they are keeping a very close eye on it. Stolen vehicle, that's the want. Extremely high speeds earlier on. Now it seems like he's trying to blend in. He's like, hey, I'm just another car on the freeway. But stolen vehicle, extremely high speeds earlier on. Now he's starting to open it up again. Law enforcement, California Highway Patrol definitely know what's going on. LAPD, they have their ground units in the area, passing Slauson, northbound 5. Well, we can do the little trick that we were doing earlier on. About 90 miles an hour. That's what we're tracking at. Looks like we're getting off at Slauson Boulevard, exiting on Slauson. That's a sharp turn right there, but that is a Mustang and possibly a GT. Hit a little bump there. Now he's going bottom of the ramp. You saw some of the LAPD. Eastbound Slauson, but you can see when he gets on these streets, he really opens it up, and that gets so scary. He's been running red lights, hasn't slowed down for any of the red lights as of yet. He's really riding his luck, and hopefully nobody gets hurt. But we understand LAPD still behind him. Eastbound Slauson from Telegraph is where we're at. This vehicle moving pretty quickly. Luckily, look at that, almost no cars on the road this evening. Well, the Mustang very, very quick, and I'm sure you made a lot of Ford owners very happy with your commentaries just a few moments ago. You know, is it the newest Mustang? I don't know, but he has definitely been putting his foot in it quite a bit, and he's been running a lot of red lights. LAPD, they've been right behind him for most of the pursuit. Right now, we're still eastbound Telegraph from Lakewood. That's what we just heard. We're in the Pico Rivera area. That's where I would say. There you go, another solid red light, and he just blew right through it. I'm wondering if the Sheriff's Department is going to become aware of this. I'm sure they know it's around. I just did that really wide shot to see if there's any black and whites behind it or anywhere nearby. They basically have told them to get into tracking mode, and that's what they're doing. That light from the helicopter probably making them aware we're still watching, or everybody's watching. But right now, he's been on eastbound Telegraph, high speeds, LAPD in tracking mode. But that doesn't mean they won't re-engage the pursuit, and hopefully he's just going to slow it down. Wrong side of the road. Look at that, passing the California Highway Patrol. You know, that's got to be so tantalizing for those officers to basically just engage this as a pursuit. They are definitely California Highway Patrol. You can see them still behind them, but they've got to know what's going on. Another solid red right through there again. So very dangerous situation for sure. The law enforcement, they got to do what they got to do. But right now we just saw that light come off, but it's back on. So they are still in traffic mode. Passing Jersey on Telegraph, Pico Rivera. Santa Fe Springs is where we are now. Santa Fe Springs. Well, he definitely slows it. Yeah, he slows down, then he speeds up. We just made a southbound turn on Norwalk. That's what I was told. Southbound on Norwalk. So we're heading back towards the freeways. Another solid red light. And you know, every time that he does something dangerous like that, the helicopter will broadcast it. The helicopter will put out this information for the watch commanders and for the powers to be, as it would be for the law enforcement, to let the law enforcement, the people who make the decisions, know what level of danger that this person is giving out. There you go. You were talking about how he's going slower. Now he's really starting to put his foot back into it again. Still southbound on Norwalk, going to be back up on the 5 freeway in a heartbeat here. Some more traffic coming up, as I understand it. But we saw other law enforcement in the area. You saw them pass California Highway Patrol, just actually go on the wrong side of the road to get around him. You didn't see the lights and sirens come on, so obviously they're aware of the situation. Maybe they were told by their commanders, look, that's an LAPD pursuit, we're not getting involved. That was Imperial that we just went through. It was a green light, thank goodness. A couple more cars on the road, making it even more dangerous, but it looks like he's getting hard on the brakes again, so possibly we're going to be getting onto the freeway. Wide open, and it's just so bizarre when stuff like that happens. Southbound on the 5, so he's right there, just being a little bit eclipsed. Yep, southbound onto the 5 freeway. No, not really. I mean, when we picked this up, it was in the Montecito Heights area off of Huntington, and when we first saw it, he was on Eastern. And if you know that area off of Huntington, that Eastern, it's a larger street, but it was very narrow, and he was going extremely fast. Understand we're southbound 5 now, passing Rosecrans, and it does appear that he's going away from that area. We're back southbound on the 5. Had he gone north, well, maybe he was heading back home, but right now, it looks like we're still going southbound. all the tires still inflated on this car. LAPD hasn't attempted a pit maneuver on this vehicle. The California Highway Patrol hasn't. Right now, the law enforcement utilizing the helicopter, just keep an eye on it. California Highway Patrol might pick this up. We've seen that in the past. I understand we're passing Carmenita now, and that would put us basically into we're getting into the Norwalk area, possibly into Buena Park area. If we keep this up, that's going to be putting us into the Orange County area. But the speeds right now probably slowing down a little bit. I can tell you, Sky 2. Going 78 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour tracking right now. So when Marcos puts us in this kind of tracking mode where we're basically paralleling it, it gives us an idea how fast he's going. So about 80, so just a little bit faster than what the traffic is down there. But you can see him being a little pushy there, cutting people off. I can tell you, looking out the window, the traffic's going to start bunching up. I don't know if there's any construction this evening, but the lanes are going to get tighter. Traffic's going to start bunching up. And this car running from officers might have a little bit of an issue. We've been trying to peek in through the windshield every now and then. We'll try to look and see. It looks like we're getting far over to the right. In the past, he has gotten off the freeway. He might just be trying to avoid some traffic. There is construction down here. Anybody who drives the 5 through the Orange County area knows that it's so brutal and has been for so long. But it looks like he's starting to hang over to the right there. But there you go. There was an opportunity to get off. He's not getting off the freeway. His speed's still about the same, right in the 80s. He's changing his mind. Maybe he's listening to us. So we'll get the name of the street here in just a minute. But he's going to be making his way back onto surface streets, and you can see now California Highway Patrol. Basically, I'm sorry, I got to take that back. That is LAPD. That's going to be LAPD Hollenbeck. So good on them that they're right there behind him again. It is initialized as a pursuit, but they are in the Orange County area. So it looks like he might be doing what he did before. He just kind of got off the freeway. Now we're getting back on. It looks like we're going to be going back northbound. So it's basically just going back the way he came. Well, oh no, I was just going to say I was going to say that I actually know somebody that works with the psychology of criminals, and we've had these talks in the past. And the reality is that the officers right now, they don't really have tunnel vision, but really all they're doing is trying to keep the public safe, stay behind this guy. And of course, you know, the helicopter is a great tool, so that the helicopter will probably be the one that'll call out the streets to other units in the area. But those officers that are in pursuit right behind them, they have very strict rules on how they can engage, and that's probably the only thing that's going through their minds right now is just keep an eye on this car, keep the public safe, and be able to stay behind it in a safe way while doing all the things that they have to do. Like this car will pass on the right, it will pass on the left, it'll make all these moves. Officers, they can't do that. They can only pass on the left-hand side. So they have to follow certain rules and keep an eye on that bad guy and also worry about the public safety. It is a tremendous load on those officers inside those vehicles. Right now, though, we're back northbound 5. We are not quite back at the Citadel yet, but the car does seem to be slowing down a little bit. But as I get a little bit wider in the shot, you can see why. There's other cars in front of him there. The law enforcement that we saw behind him, still right there. That's going to be those original units from earlier on. Excuse me, nope, that is going to be the California Highway Patrol right now, right behind that vehicle. So they've kind of swapped out, but you can see that they have different tactics. They're going to stay right. They're going to stay a little bit closer. He speeds up. They speed up. California Highway Patrol now working with the LAPD, I would guess, as they are. That's the helicopter overhead, but they have units. LAPD units on the ground as well, probably units that were behind it when this thing started. You can see that Mustang really now just opening it up, using that, we believe it's going to be a GT, so I'm guessing it's going to be a 5-liter. Whatever it is, it's a V8, and he's probably using all 8 of those cylinders right now as he's starting to move along northbound 5 freeway, basically going back where he came from. Well, you always tell everybody, don't go into the light. So, that might actually work. The officers of the law, they are human beings. They do have a job. They did take an oath, and but they are human beings. And adrenaline, I'm sure, is pumping. And these guys want to catch the bad guy. That's what they do for a living. And this guy running from them, I'm sure there's a lot going through their minds. And of course, they also have to. One of the things that obviously is there is that they are doing a job, and they have to answer to certain rules and law. There is so much communication that goes back and forth, and it influences how in the policies that law enforcement use to apprehend the bad guys. Right now, that's basically what we're seeing. A lot of the other pursuits that we see from other parts of the country, they do that pit right away, or they block these cars in, and they're pulling these people out through broken windows. Here in Los Angeles, because of the public, we deal with it a little bit differently. And that's what we have right now. I'm just going to get a little bit of a wider shot. You can see that one California Highway Patrol still right behind it. Other California Highway Patrol units are on the side of the road as this thing passes, not joining into this chase. Northbound 5 freeway, we have already passed the 605 as I understand it. We're going to be coming up on the Citadel here shortly. So that's kind of the area where we picked it up for the 11 o'clock. I'm wondering if he's going to make his way back up into the Boyle Heights area, maybe stay on the 5. Who knows? Right now, though, this is a pursuit in the Los Angeles area. We're still in the Pico Rivera area. Looks like he's getting back over. Yep, here we go. We're going to be back on some side streets. I'm wondering if he's just going to make that U-turn or perhaps take a street back up into the area that he's familiar with. Wrong way. Wrong way. Yeah. Yeah, most definitely. The more, yeah, the more that he does that's reckless, the more of a chance that law enforcement's hand's going to be pushed, and they're going to have to do something to bring this to an end quickly. I believe we're on Lakewood. I haven't had that confirmation yet, but I believe we're southbound on Lakewood now. This is also another area that we haven't been on before. So this person just out for a ride. basically, as long as he looks in that rearview mirror, he sees somebody behind him, he's going to take any option that he can to get away. This is the first time I've seen him slow down for a red light. This is very unusual, doing the old trick there, passing Florence now, southbound Lakewood passing Florence. That Mustang moving along, though, and not slowing down, and not stopping for officers. That's the first time I've seen him slow down. So maybe if this guy had some adrenaline rush, maybe that's wearing off, and now he's going to be thinking, I'm going to have to bring this to an end. Maybe he will just pull over, as we've seen so many times in the past. Yeah. Well, it looked like he was going to make that U-turn. No, I was just going to say, it looked like he was going to make one of those U-turns there, and he didn't. Maybe because he saw how close that officer is right behind him. I'm going to take a look and see who that is. That's California Highway Patrol. So they're still in pursuit, chasing this vehicle. Southbound on Lakewood from the 5 is where we started. Making a turn now onto another major. I believe this is going to be Firestone. And look at all the other law enforcement in the area. And they're not making any move. They're just basically there just in case this thing comes to an end. Downey is the city we're in, on Firestone, and this guy is, yep, he's on fire on Firestone. Look at that. Just really using all that power for that car and really speeding up. Thank goodness that was a green light. California Highway Patrol in pursuit. No, they don't. Yeah, and then when we went wide, we went really wide. So they have backed off at this point. But that helicopter definitely still overhead, and it's going to keep on. I wonder what that was. It looked like he either threw something out the window. No, it looked like, yeah, he might have. Maybe they threw something out the window right there, and that kind of is. Maybe there's somebody else in the car with him. Or you're going to see maybe next time. It looked like it came out the passenger. Definitely looked like it came out the passenger side. So. But yep. Well, we're still, I'm just going to let you know, we're still on Firestone. Firestone will take us back over to the 710 if he stays there. Right now, we're pretty much just established in the Downey area until he gets to the 710, which is going to come up very quickly, especially at these speeds. Amazing, though. I mean, it is a Monday night. We don't expect to see that much traffic out here, but it is very, very light for any other of the vehicles. And you can see right now we're getting very close to the 710. I wonder if that's going to be his plan, if he's going to go north or if he's going to go south. There's a 710. There we go. Northbound 710. Yep, northbound 710 is where we are right now. That California Highway Patrol that backed off earlier on, well, he's back. He's not going to give it up. So this is going to put us into the Southgate area, northbound 710 freeway. Basically, that is. Yeah, northbound 710, that's all I got to say. Northbound 710, Southgate, that vehicle still moving at a high rate of speed. LAPD still providing the light. California Highway Patrol, they're the ones chasing them right now. There's a little bit of a communication issue with the helicopter and the California Highway Patrol, but those ground units, they're right there with it. They haven't lost sight of that vehicle yet. We've been talking about how great that Mustang is. Well, you know what? Those Ford Explorers with the V8s, I mean, they are made for this type of driving, and they have a professional behind the wheel. That Mustang, I'm sure it is a quick and fast car, but you know what? You're right. You're not going to outrun the radio. You're not going to outrun that helicopter. And as it stands right now, California Highway Patrol, they are out to get this guy pulled over and in cuffs. I'm sure their idea is without any injury, and of course, we're hoping that this ends safely as well. Oof. Going into the work zone. What? Uh, yeah, I thought that too for a second, but I was really not sure. He might have just ran over something on the freeway, on the roadway as well. That could have been as also. I can tell you right now that the California Highway Patrol, working with LAPD, the helicopter has shut off the night sun, hoping that this guy will think that nobody's behind him. But California Highway Patrol, lights and sirens right there. Some dangerous moments. They were in a Caltrans work zone. He actually went across those cones. We did pass the area where they're working. You know, you always got to. They always say slow for the cones. And the Caltrans workers, those guys are out there fixing our roadways, doing some dangerous work. Looks like we're going to be getting back off the freeway right now. We'll get you that off-ramp here in just a second. But California Highway Patrol, yeah, he did slow down, especially for that sharp turn. But that gives that opportunity for the California Highway Patrol. I'm only guessing right now that we're probably either on Bandini or Slauson, but I'm thinking more Bandini. Looks like, though, we're just going to do that loop-de-loop, getting off the freeway, getting back on the freeway. You can see that one California Highway Patrol, another California Highway Patrol, all getting behind him right now. Are they going to pit him at freeway speeds? I doubt it, but I'm sure they're starting to get a little frustrated with this and want to bring this thing to an end. It looks like we're going to be going, I'm actually looking out the window right now. Looks like we're continuing northbound on the 710, right, Marcos? Northbound on the 710? Yeah. No, we haven't heard anything like that at all right now. And in the past, the social media not too happy when I give that away for some reason. It makes me kind of wonder if they really think that that they're going to be sitting down there watching one of our feeds. I'd be honored in a way, but I got to wonder. It does appear that there is something up with the Mustang right now. I was wondering. It looks like he lost a tire or something's going on. The front of that car really starting to smoke. Not sure if that's overheating or possibly he lost a wheel. In any case, it is something mechanical happening with that vehicle right now. So this may be coming to an end, hopefully here shortly. California Highway Patrol still in pursuit, northbound 710 freeway. We made our way out of we're back into the East Los Angeles area. He's got some options coming up. You saw the freeway signs, but right now I got to wonder how long this car is going to go with three wheels, or we're going to get the helicopter on the other side to see if he lost one of the front tires. But it does appear that something's up with that vehicle. A lot of smoke coming off of that car this evening. It definitely looks like something's up with one of the front tires of that car. We saw some smoke coming off the car earlier on. I wasn't sure if it was overheating. I wasn't sure if it was the California Highway Patrol that was overheating. But then when we pushed into it, it did seem like it was coming off of that Mustang. Now, he did drive through that work zone. He was driving, hitting a couple of those cones. Not that the cone would make a problem for that tire. But if he does have a flat tire right now and he's making these weird turns, you're seeing a little bit more smoke coming off that car. Looks like he's going to start. It looks like he's thinking about it, but high speeds, three tires, and probably not a professional driver behind it. Really starting to up the ante here as this car's still on the 710. You can see we're going to be running out of 710 here in a little bit. So possibly the 10. Maybe he's going to push it onto the surface streets, but it definitely looks like he lost either his overheating or he lost one of his front tires. Yeah, definitely close the gap, and as we get the Sky 2 in place here, it does look like there is nothing that didn't lose a tire, but that car probably maybe overheating right now. I got to wonder what's going on underneath that car. It looks like he lost one of the marker lights off the front, one of the blinker lights, probably when he was running over those cones at high speeds. So this car continues on out here, California Highway Patrol right behind it, East Los Angeles, transitioning onto the 10. I would, just looking out the window, would guess this is westbound. I haven't heard the units calling it up lately, but Marco's giving me the thumbs up, and I don't think that's on my reporting. I think that's because we are westbound 10 freeway from the 710 right now. Definitely, and the thing is as long as the public is safe, these are always interesting to watch. We always want to see, where's this guy going, what's going on, how's this going to end. We've seen these cars get airborne in the past. We've seen the law enforcement get aggressive and use those pit maneuvers. In this case right now, he's just driving a little bit faster than he should be. Obviously, enough that the law enforcement has got their attention. They are right behind him. These guys not backing off this evening. California Highway Patrol just really making that presence known, trying to keep at least the public safe. And like you said earlier, Rick, they are worried about that driver as well. That car, I was a little, hopeful. Not that, when we saw that smoke, I was thinking, well, okay, something's up. This car's going to conk out, and this thing's going to come to an end. But it does look like it's continuing on out here. California Highway Patrol still behind him. 10 freeway wide open. Amazing. We're changing lanes here. Looks like we're going to be getting back onto the 5. And again, I'm pretty sure this one is a northbound only. We're going to find out here in just a moment. But definitely this car made a wild turn there across the Gore Point. Northbound 5 freeway. California Highway Patrol right behind him. I could probably call this the Boyle Heights area. Yeah, so it makes me wonder, maybe he just ran some, maybe it was just some dust on the roadway, possibly from some construction. Who knows? A lot of times we're watching these, and I'm still trying to get that shot where we can try to figure out if there's two people in the car. Something else I don't know if it came out of the vehicle or if he just ran something over, but definitely something just happened right there again. So this person starting to run out of options. I guess maybe he's starting to realize, look, I'm just driving. These guys are following me. It's not going to, they're not giving up. So this chase continuing right now. I'm not sure where he wound up. I'm looking out the window. But I know those transitions. We had the 10, we had the 5. We had a lot of options right there. But it almost looks like we're moving southbound again. So he basically is just making another giant U-turn as we're working our way south back towards the 10 freeway. We'll see where this takes us, but right now, California Highway Patrol chasing the bad guy, a person that stole that vehicle. Earlier on, it came back as a stolen vehicle. Then the pursuit has been on extreme high speeds at sometimes. Right now, just on the freeway and working our way. It looks like we're going to be taking the 10 again. I'll let you guys know for sure as soon as he makes that transition. I. Uh, well, you know, I have no idea what these what these car thieves could be thinking about when they take these vehicles. You know, younger kids, you might say joyride. This seems to be almost an adult behind the wheel. So you just don't know. And then a lot of times they'll come back as stolen, and it's one of these ones where they just haven't paid their car payment in forever. So it was reported stolen. It does appear that it does have license plates on it, and it almost looks like it has one of those blue marks on the back there. So using the power of Sky 2, using that digital doubler, it almost looks like it has handicap plates on there. So that car running out of fuel, we've got about 20 minutes of fuel left in Sky 2 this evening. Looks like we're transitioning once again. We were on the 5 freeway there for a little bit. Now we're going to be transitioning again. It looks like back onto the 710. Don't know which direction he's going to be taking. My guess is back to the north. So this guy's just making these huge circles, biding time, basically figuring as long as I stay away from those reds and blue blinking lights, I'm not going to jail. But eventually it's going to happen. That car's going to run out of gas. This guy's going to the driver's going to run out of steam, and then the car's going to pull over. But right now it is still a full-on pursuit out here in East Los Angeles. Really? All righty. So interneters, gosh, this is one of those ones where I wish I could be reading the comments because I have got I want to know what you guys are saying right now. This pursuit's been going on and on and on. This is the first time we've been in a residential neighborhood. We're in the East Los Angeles area. California Highway Patrol right behind him. If he continues with those normal speeds, I'm doing air quotes, you can't see that, we you might think that they're going to pit this guy. It looks like he's smart enough that I'm right there, or on KCal. Yeah, they definitely do. Rick and Pat, thanks for doing a little overtime with us. We love having you guys. That was the first time we saw him get off the road and actually get into a residential area. I was quiet there for a moment. We were talking with some of the social media folk, but I was quiet there for a minute because I was listening in on the California Highway Patrol. That I was trying to figure out what they're talking about. Right now, though, we are still on residential roads, East Los Angeles, working our way slowly back to the area where this thing started. And I would almost say that we're on Monterey Pass Road. I can't confirm that, but I'm pretty sure that's the road we're on right now. And you saw how the California Highway Patrol ready to do that pit. That vehicle that's right behind them, pit certified. Not every officer, but I would have guessed most of the California Highway Patrol pit certified. This guy definitely is, and you can see he's itching to use it. Now, they're only going to do it when everything aligns. The stars, the moon, everything has to be perfect for them to be able to make that pit maneuver happen. And basically, the big word is the S word, safety. They've got to make sure that it's going to be a safe move. Slower speeds, no pedestrians around, no other vehicles in the area. So that's when they're going to make that happen. Right now, though, we're still working our way northbound on Monterey Pass. It's going to turn into Garvey Avenue here shortly. California Highway Patrol still chasing this guy. Monterey Park, we're probably right on the border. Haven't seen any of the Monterey Park PD involved in this thing, but right now this pursuit continues. That Mustang, I got to say it, I'll say it on the air, I was wrong. I thought that thing was just giving it up. I thought it was starting to smoke out the front end. Looks like whatever it was probably some dust or whatever. Right now, this chase continues as we're working our way into the Monterey Park area. California Highway Patrol right behind that vehicle. Not so much. Not so much. Yeah, those are going to be the partners of the California Highway Patrol. Those are going to be the other units behind them in case that the officers need help. We're passing them so quickly. I know that we're right on the border of Monterey Park, so there may be some Monterey Park PD out here as well. But it is very much, we see it as just, not really a game, but we see it as just a lot of activity going on, and everybody's kind of like a free-for-all. It is definitely not that. It is the opposite of that. These officers are following strict rules. They have rules of like how they can engage these pursuits. And when we are in these other areas, there may be officers out here that are itching to get into that chase, but they're just not allowed. And if they did, they would face some sort of, they'd be in trouble. Let's just say it like that. So right now, after all those turns, I'm guessing we are going to be paralleling one of the freeways. I'm going to try to get you some streets. But California Highway Patrol, they are right behind them. The LAPD helicopter still above them. And they're working together. But you can see speeds have slowed down. But definitely not to the point where they can do that pit maneuver. There was one of the other law enforcement right there at that intersection. The general direction, northbound right now. We're going to be moving our way out of Monterey Park. Going to be coming up on the 10 freeway. Probably going to have to go under it is going to be my guess from what I'm looking at the maps, and we'll see where that is right now. But looks like we're going to be getting on the 10 freeway. Is my guess. That looks like a freeway on-ramp. Or, nope, we're going under it. So there you go. So we'll see if this is an on-ramp. I'm not really sure. It might be, but the California Highway Patrol is still right behind them there, and we're working our way out of the Monterey Park area right now, and this is going to be putting us into Alhambra. So just another street, another city for our scenic tour this evening. Well, he's slowed down, that's for sure. He's on these surface streets. Not a lot of traffic out here right now. First Monday after the time change, I'm sure a lot of people like me, just sleepy. Making another turn right now, getting into a residential neighborhood. You can see some people doing what they're supposed to do. That they see the lights and sirens, they pull over to the right, they let these officers pass on the left. Now we're back inside of a residential neighborhood, so and a little bit of a slide out there. That's the first time I saw that. So he's pushing that car hard through the turns. California Highway Patrol right behind him, and we know, we've seen it in the past. If these guys have that opportunity, they're going to take it. And I don't think we're giving away any secrets. These people that are running from the law enforcement, they look in the mirror, they see that they take a look back there, and all they see is headlights and bumper. They got to know that that they're getting close. So that's probably what the giveaway is. I'm happy to say on these residential streets out here, driving a lot slower. There was a speed bump right there, and I only say that because when it gets so tight like this, where it seems like only one lane to get through, you always got to worry somebody walking a dog, somebody with a pet in the neighborhood. You just don't want to see anything get hurt in these chases. But this is the first time I've seen it drive this slow. California Highway Patrol doing what they had to do there. There was a metered an intersection. He had to slow down. The bad guy, he just can go. But it's continuing on out here in the East LA area, and it does seem like he's starting to make some turns in an area, like in a residential area. So starting to do those roundabouts, and you can see going over those same bumps again. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on it. I'm hoping we're going to be able to hang out. Marcos was talking about fuel getting low, so just letting everybody know that. Oh, definitely. Yeah, and you know that Mustang, it does. It's got power and it's got a little bit of handling. It's a great American muscle car. But that cruiser, you know, it looks like mom's soccer van. But you know they have police packages on there. They have better suspensions. They have a little bit better motor. They have a better transmission or shifting pattern. So they have a lot of advantages as well. And you can see that this car, that you know, that officer behind him trained driver, and something else just kind of came out of the car right there. So I got to wonder if he's throwing something out of that vehicle. But he's definitely driving in these tight residential areas, slowing down a little bit. But definitely not coming to a stop, not allowing that police cruiser to get up right next to him, because they know that if it happens, they're going to pit maneuver this guy. Turning onto a major street right here. Yes, I did, and we're back on Eastern. So this is a street that he was on earlier on. It started where we picked it up was off of Eastern, off of Huntington and Eastern. So is he heading back that way? Maybe, who knows? But right now, starting to speed up again as he's making his way northbound on Eastern in the East Los Angeles area. No, I would be guessing right now, where we're getting on to another major up here. I would be guessing that we're in the East Los Angeles area. Yeah, East LA still. And he was westbound Huntington, and now we're getting back into another residential neighborhood. Whoops. Yeah, definitely tight spaces, and these roads are so. These areas were built so long ago, and you know that they're so windy, tight roads, and now he's starting to kick up those speeds again. So it's just. You just cringe, especially in these type of neighborhoods. Making another sharp turn, he's got to know that that these officers are not going to back off. It's going to come to an end, and he's going to be spending at least a night in jail. We're in the Newberry Park area. That's or Newton Park, sorry, Newton Park area out here in the out just south of Monterey Hills, and these are the neighborhoods out here. We're going to be north of Huntington Drive. But the California Highway Patrol, they've been with it for quite some time and staying right behind him. This is the first time I've seen him. Oh, there's a bump right there. And that's kind of interesting, too. You got to wonder, did he know that was there, or does he live in this area and that's how he knew? He saw it, or did he know it? Because he really came to almost a stop there, knowing that there was a big bump in the road. So maybe he's in a neighborhood that he knows. Maybe it's going to turn out to be a foot chase. Maybe it's going to keep on going, right? Yeah, he's still driving. He Yeah, he definitely is back in the area where we picked it up earlier. That was the first shot that we really got to look in through that windshield, and I can pretty safely say he is by himself inside that vehicle. There's always a possibility somebody in the back seat, but I doubt it. There does seem like there's stuff in the passenger seat. I don't know what it was, but it definitely looked like stuff, not a person. Making some more sharp turns out there as we got back into another residential neighborhood. Going to go a little bit wider just to see where that California Highway Patrol vehicle is. We watched him do as like the laws force him to do. There was a vehicle that didn't yield on the roadway. He had to pass on the left. But this vehicle now getting a little bit of space there between him and that first California Highway Patrol vehicle. And as I say it, there he is. He's catching right up on him again. But starting to make these wild turns, and in this neighborhood, you just got to wonder if this thing's just going to end as we always see them do, where they park the car and run away. But right there, look at that. Yeah, and it looks like another vehicle. It looked like like somebody was in it. It did seem like there were some lights on in that car. But the Mustang, this is as slow as I've seen it go since we've been overhead. And they have that unit right behind him. He might be wondering as well if this car is starting to run out of gas or something, because they're commenting on the slow speeds all of a sudden. If they think this thing's just going to come to an end, they won't pit him. But if it continues on at these speeds and he has that opportunity, they will definitely take it if they can. Yeah. Back onto another. Yeah. And you always kind of wonder if the owners of the vehicles watch these pursuits. You just got to wonder, how they get them back. But right now, this guy really starting to open it up again, using all 8 cylinders. It looks like we're southbound, I would say, on Eastern, but as soon as I got that street, he's making a turn. So we were on Eastern, getting back into an area that looks residential. This guy running the red lights, running the stop signs, not even slowing down, a little hard on the brakes as we're going on the wrong side of the road in this residential neighborhood, but it's giving the the Highway Patrol the opportunity to catch back up again. It almost seems like that this driver now maybe just, doing teasing the law enforcement, saying, hey, I'll let you get a little closer, but then I'm just going to open it up. You just don't know, but we're just looking at it. We're just seeing it, and that's what it definitely looks like. This guy, though, gets into these neighborhoods, drives a lot slower. You got the California Highway Patrol right behind him. People, I'm sure, are saying, pit him, pit him, pit him. They're not going to do it with all these other vehicles in the area. Property will be damaged, and it's just not a safe place for it to happen. They're going to have to wait for an area where it's a little bit wider open and they can get up close to him, making another sharp turn right there. But very residential neighborhood, definitely just the driver inside that car. I can almost guarantee that now. But this guy, haven't seen him on the cell phone, haven't seen any kind of weird activity, just driving this car like he stole it, because he did. And the chase continues out here. Marcos, what do we got for fuel? We got about 5 more minutes to talk to you, and then we're gonna have to leave you guys. Yeah. Definitely, definitely, and you got to have the whole picture. We saw it from the beginning. We got to see how it ends. I'm sure that somebody on the ground might get it later on. We'll probably know in the morning how it ended. But gosh darn it, I want to see it. Let's be honest. There you go. Some people in the neighborhood just kind of looking like, what the heck was that? So it was skidding out there a little bit. That's kind of weird. It's a couple times I've seen him get a little squirrely as coming around those corners. So maybe showing off. Maybe he's just saying, this is the last time I'm going to be able to play with this car, so I'm going to do it. But the chase continues out here. California Highway Patrol right behind him. Definitely in the El Sereno area right now, as we're out onto a major intersection. First time I've seen him stop for anything. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Yep. He's trying. He's definitely trying. And maybe they heard that we had 5 minutes of fuel left, and he's saying, we want to see this thing. But he had that little bit of opportunity there, but it wasn't safe. That Mustang, that, like I said, that driver, all he's got to do is look in the mirror and see that car right there, and he's got to know what's coming. So starting to move a little bit faster again on a major road. I would guess we're back on Eastern, and luckily that was a green light moving southbound-ish. Yep, definitely southbound. But big roads, wide streets, no traffic. And California Highway Patrol still in pursuit. Oh, yeah. Well, the officer doesn't want to, obviously after that pit maneuver, that the officer's vehicle, there's going to be a moment or two where he may not have control, so they don't want to be doing this at 60 miles an hour either. I would guess right now that or we're probably on Valley Boulevard right now, maybe Alhambra, but higher speeds for sure, wider streets for sure. California Highway Patrol, they're matching it. Whatever this guy's putting out, they're doing the same. And this chase is continuing on. El Sereno is going to be the area where we're at, working our way westbound now. So we're heading, into the Boyle Heights area. This Mustang has just been eluding officers or law enforcement for most of the evening. California Highway Patrol, they're the ones that have it right now. LAPD, they're still above it. They're not using their night sun, but their helicopter's still here as well. You can see this. We're going to do that little trick that we always do. So we're coming up on Mission. So definitely in the El Sereno area. We're going to be definitely over by County USC. But this chase continues. This Mustang running another red light, stolen vehicle, single person in the car. We've gone through a lot of neighborhoods this evening, and it seems like it's going to continue until that car either runs out of gas or but yeah, he's just going to keep it's going to be a little cat and mouse. Yeah, yeah. Well, that you'd wonder that driver, the stolen vehicle, his adrenaline, it must have peaked and fell by now. You got to wonder, this guy's probably thirsty. Playing cat and mouse with the law enforcement like that is never a good game. As far as I've known, except for Tom and Jerry, the mouse always is the loser in the end. And in this case, the law enforcement, definitely the cat. That Mustang, though, just staying arm's length out of reach of those officers. And like you said, it really seems like he's doing I'm going to slow down, I'm going to speed up. Oh, look, he's getting up behind me there. And here we go. Boho! Soon as I said it, that is a pit maneuver. So you got to wonder if that engine shut off or not, because this guy hasn't given up in the past. Usually when they do that, those motors will stall. In this case, it looks like that car is stopped. That light coming back on from the LAPD. I'm getting wider just to show that there's just two California Highway Patrol vehicles right there, and they're giving this guy a little bit of a berth, which is unusual. Right now, though, you can see him kind of fidgeting around, maybe making that decision. I see that lap belt across that white shirt, so hasn't taken off that seat belt, so it doesn't seem like he's made this decision like it's over. He's still kind of thinking about it, but definitely a pit maneuver of all pit maneuvers. Doors open, hands are up. Woo! And we're going to have to go for fuel, but definitely want to at least see this guy pop his head out of the car. We're just so we making it very clear, because there's a lot of critics about safety for us as well. We are well safe for fuel, but we're going to wait just a moment or two, and when Marco says we got to go, we will go. I'll let you know that. Right now, though, doors are open, commands are being made, but that driver not out of that car yet.
about us. But right now, there's no way. They're trying to do it. But here comes the driver opening the door. It's up to him right now how this ends. All he has to do is cooperate, do what the officers tell him to do, and we'll see what he does here. The officers are holding their position at the door, kind of closing back. And it's just a wait and see here at this point. It's all up to him how he wants to end this pursuit. And all he needs to do is just follow directions, get out, and the officers will then take him into custody. But he needs to cooperate. They shouldn't run up on him right now. He's in a position. The car, you can see the door coming open. And hopefully, there he comes stepping out. Hands are up. Very good. Very good. Follow directions. He's kind of cavalier about it. He's kind of just casual. All right, you got me here. Put my hands up. And the area to keep in track on him to make sure if he takes off, now he's going to lay down there. That's not where you'd want to lay him down, but he may have done that all by himself. But hopefully, yeah. Right. Well, yeah, it could be. If we widen out a little bit, let's see where the officers are at, see if they've left their position of advantage here, which is behind the, see, they're sitting back there. So they want him back, as Cher was saying. They want him away from that car because you don't know who might be laying down in that back seat or who may be, down to where you can't see him, even though they're looking right through the front window. You don't know. And the practice is to get him away. And this guy could have just very well just laid down there. He's probably been through this before maybe and decided, okay, I give up. I'll lay down here. Up there, he's standing up, and he's going to do what they ask and walk backwards. There we go. Now we pop in here a little bit more. Walk backwards towards them. The officer's doing a great job sticking to their training, sticking to their procedure, staying behind the car in a position of cover and concealment. And this guy is just really cavalier about this. Okay, now he's just going to lay there and look at him. That's the last thing they want him to do. They want him facing away so that he can't see their approach. And eventually, somebody's going to go up here and make contact. Somebody with a beanbag gun is going to be in here as well. Also with tasers, just in case something goes wrong. But see, he's watching the officer come up on him, and that's not what you want. So they're just going to take care of business here. Come around him, officer holstering his gun. He's going to be the rest officer. Come up, put his hand behind his back, and he's going to cooperate here. You can see him patting him down, and the cuffs are going to come on. And here we go. Good. In custody. No accidents of any major concerns. And suspect in custody here, going to be heading off. LAPD will probably be coming over to take custody of this suspect and take him off to jail. But right now, you see, in custody, everything's done exactly the way we like to see him.